Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Friendly Fella News Network. Discussing corporations is something that I am no stranger to. I'm not a very political guy, but I will absolutely jump at the opportunity to give my opinions on the fat cats and the big corps. Generally, I encourage the common consumer to be wary of the big companies. I encourage them not to fall for their schemes and their knavish tricks, but that's besides the point. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're focusing on today is the controversy surrounding Fortnite, Epic Games, Apple, and Google. Now, I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but when you buy a product online, let's say it's a game on Steam, all that money you pay doesn't go into the developer's pockets. No, it's actually divided between the developer and the owner of the platform of which that game is being sold on. In Steam's case, 70% goes towards the developer, 30% goes towards Valve, the company that owns Steam. 30% is essentially the industry standard, which we will see here as we look at the little infographic here. As you can see, 30% on Steam, Humble Store has 25%, basically, not shy of 30%, GOG 30, Microsoft Store 30, all the major consoles 30, 30, 30, mobile stores 30, physical stores 30. So Epic Games has recently announced that they are going to be reducing the price of V-Bucks, which is the in-game currency of Fortnite, obviously, across all platforms. But specifically for the mobile options, iOS and I guess Android, they're introducing this new feature called Epic Direct Payment. They have this to say. Currently, there are no savings if players use Apple and Google payment options, where Apple and Google collect an exorbitant 30% fee on all payments, Epic said in a press statement. If Apple and Google lower their fees on payments, Epic will pass along the savings to the players and blah blah blah. So basically what the Epic Direct Payment is basically a way for Epic to bypass that 30% tax which Apple and Google levy on the developers, right? So as we can see here, if you pay through the Apple App Store and go for that 70-30 thing, you have to pay $10, but with Epic Direct Payment, you only have to pay $8. So you'd have to be an idiot to choose the Apple App Store. Obviously, you'd want to save that $2. Now, Apple isn't too happy about this because, well, this is a clear violation of their terms and services. So in response, they've taken Fortnite off of the App Store. And in response to that response, Epic has not only filed a legal complaint, but they have released a video shunning Apple for what they did. Let's take a look at that video right now. Obviously a parody of the 1984 Apple commercial. I like how all the characters in the background are the default skin characters, and as if to imply, if you use the default skin, you're basically a brainwashed zealot. I also don't really like their faces because in the original 1984 commercial, which was made by Apple, the people in the commercial, they had blank expressions. They were dazed, right? There was no expression. But here they look quite surprised. So I think that's something they kind of messed up on, but I think that's just a nitpick. They're really just copying it for verbatim. It's an exact copy, and I really can't take this crap seriously, honestly. It's freaking Fortnite, man. I can't take this seriously. And we can see here, Epic Games has defied the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from 1 billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming 1984. Epic Games is not defying the App Store monopoly, right? What you did is you broke the terms and service which you agreed to when you put your app onto the App Store, and Apple, took you off for it. It's yeah, you poke the wasp's nest, you get stung. You broke the rules, and when you get punished for doing that, you're on the ground bawling like a little child, right? And I think Epic Games is sort of trying to convince you. They're trying to create this image for themselves that they are a small company being oppressed by the big oppressive tech giants. But that's just not the case. I mean, Epic Games it's worth like what, $8 billion, and like sure, that's nowhere near to what Apple is, but this isn't a case where, you know, the big tech monopoly is, you know, cracking down on the little man. It's just a case of, you know, big company versus big company, right? So I think for them to sort of frame it as big tech giant versus little man is pretty dishonest. Now, if we look at the legal complaint here, I think what they're mostly upset about is that Apple has a monopoly on their own platform, right? I think the only way you can get apps on the iPhone is by the iOS App Store, which is obviously owned by Apple. I think that's how it works, right? And, you know, I mean, okay, maybe there's an argument that can be made there, but if that's the case, well, you can't just pick and choose your battles, because, I mean, Fortnite is on the Switch, the Xbox, the PlayStation. Those are all platforms that only have one storefront. Obviously, with the Nintendo Switch, there's only one storefront, that's obviously the Nintendo eShop, right? So, like, okay, well, why aren't you suing Nintendo then? Why aren't you in defiance of the big tech giant monopoly known as Nintendo, right? So, like you can't pick and choose your battles. Like, if you go against one, you gotta go against them all, right? And, you know, if you're so mad about the 70-30 thing, again, you know, we've seen that all the major consoles have, you know, the 70-30 split. So, again, why aren't you going against those, you know, those manufacturers? At the end of the day, I really just think this is a PR scheme, because if Epic was really serious about this, they'd be doing this to everybody, but they're not. If you ask me, I think an argument could be made for Epic. No, maybe it is a little monopolistic that the only storefront on iPhones is, you know, the App Store, the iOS App Store. You know, maybe the 70-30 split is kind of oppressive, you know, even though that's the industry standard and everyone's doing it. Hey, maybe that could stand to be changed, right? But you know, I just don't think that this is a situation where Epic Games can claim that they're in the right, because they're just not, right? I mean, Apple is literally just upholding their terms and services. You know, they want that 70-30 split, and, you know, you found a way to get around that split, so you got kicked off. Sorry, man, like, you broke the rules. Like, what did you think was gonna happen, right? That's what I have to say about it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is like a legitimate crusade against the monopolistic tyrants of Apple and Google? Or, you know, do you agree with me? Do you think that, you know, this is all just bull crap? This is all just a PR scheme. You know, they're trying to make themselves look good or whatever. You know, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you think. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be leaving it at that. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Friendly Fellow Jed, out.